Brilliant Minutes, sponsored by Sinclair Heating and Cooling for 24/7 comfort on call.
Well, hello, Brad.
Chris,
Should I put this away?
your call.
Okay.
Your call.
I may
okay?
change my mind at the end of this.
Listen, I have to be honest. This is probably the most important topic we've ever done, okay?
Wow.
We're going to talk about reading retention and comprehension, and not just with children, also with adults, but I want you to keep in the back of your memory about children, okay? So with that said, I want to introduce you to the researchers who did this research. They are from Australia. There they are. And here is their study and their finding. Reading on screens instead of paper is a less effective way to absorb and retain information. Chris, I have wanted to do this story for 3 years. I have seen similar research with the same finding 3 times, but the first time it was done by the paper making.
Okay.
So they had a little agenda. The second time I saw it, it was done by a book publishing firm, so I felt, well, they probably have some vested interest. But finally, it comes from a university.
Independent research.
Okay. So with this in mind, here are just some of the bullet points on what they found. They call it the screen inferiority effect, okay? So again, just some bullet points from their study. This whole notion that reading off of a screen is less effective, it applies across languages and writing systems. Think about that. So no matter where you are, what you speak, or what you read, globally,
It's the same result.
for all humans.
Okay.
And you have to bear in mind that reading is sort of a recent development in our history.
Okay.
Only about 5,500 years have we been reading.
Okay.
When people become immersed in a narrative like a novel, it's not affected too much by reading on a screen, but comprehension drops when you're using a screen to read information-dense text like a textbook for study. Think about that in children, okay? The effect is more pronounced for less skilled readers, defined as people that just don't read as effectively, and also people who have read less than 15 years. So again, children. Physical factors such as eye strain, brightness, comfort, that might be adding to it. And they also say that, you know, with screens, we tend to have less serious content where people have a tendency to skim. So that might apply to adults. You know, I think I'm guilty of that. Screens also come with built-in distractions like frequent notifications, animated ads, pop-ups, you know, the whole kit and caboodle if you're on any social media or whatever, okay? So that obviously competes for your attention. But here's the big takeaway. We don't yet understand what this effect is going to have on children who are learning to read primarily on screens now, and we're likely not to know for another 10 to 15 years.
And there's been a lot of screen learning here in the last few years.
That's the whole thing. And listen, I really would encourage you, especially if you have children, go to WBAY.com. In our featured link sections, you can read the whole report. I would encourage you to, but print it off because you'll have better retention.
But
it is there. It's very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Thank you, Brad. Teed that up beautifully. Still to come here at 4.